Good evening. Welcome to Nightmare. Tonight is the night we all celebrate. And Creeper just can't wait to see Nightmare in color. Isn't it wonderful, Creeper? Color story. And tonight we start out with such an interesting one. All about the cry of the bewitched. I'm sure when people get done seeing that one, they'll be seeing red. Or maybe it will be green. And later, the first of our double features, we'll be seeing the conquerors with the hero of Rome. But first, we have a nightmare for you. I wonder, though, there's something the mailman hasn't come yet, Creeper. Would you go out and see if the mailman has come? After all, going in color with Nightmare, we're expecting a lot of fan mail. Oh, good. It even looks like somebody may have sent us a fan. Well, while we open our mail, why don't you watch Nightmare?
Good evening. Oh, I do hope that your Friday night has started off with a chill, and not just outside in the beautiful, deadly chill of autumn. But maybe there's something crawling under your bed. It may be big, like a boogeyman, or it may be very small, like a spider. But you'll have a hard time nodding off later. Oh, and of course, talking about spiders, look who crept in. Good evening, George. Oh, I know, I did, I heard. You were there. You actually broadcast a commercial for me earlier this evening. Thank you for doing such an eloquent job of that. But here we are on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Oh, I want to welcome all of you out there through the monocle cyclops of a lens. Oh, I'm glad you're spending your Friday evening with me, for I have a very, very interesting show for you this evening. So make sure that you share this with all your family and fiends everywhere. Click the little share button or blast it out through an email post. Make sure that you click on any of the emojis, for later on, George here, oh, he's going to be checking all of your comments. And he just loves to see the little smiley faces, the love faces, or the wow emojis go up. Oh, they're like little flies for him to chase. And do make sure that when you're done tonight, make sure that you go to Sammy Terry. What's that, George? Oh, no, I didn't look behind me. Oh, George! George, what is all the customer orders doing on the walls? Oh, George, you and Goolsby, you're supposed to take the shirts, put them in bags, send them off to all the people. You can't just leave them hanging around the dungeon. People are expecting their orders. You'll find all of these type of amazing shirts and all kinds of duffel bags and baby bibs and dog kerchiefs, all kinds of carrying satchels, coats for this winter time, fleece jackets, and of course every kind of t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie, tank top you can imagine on SammyTerry.com. So treat some of your out-of-towners. Send them a welcome gift for Halloween from SammyTerry.com. And George, you'd better get to work. Last week, if you were watching on Friday evening, I took you on a tour. Oh, we toured the Key Haunted House on the east side of Indianapolis. Of course, that's where the Sammy Terry Dungeon Escape Room, a game for you and your fiends to play, to try to escape my room in an hour, or I get to keep you. But all the other escape rooms, the haunted escape rooms there, have been converted into one of the greatest stylish haunted houses you'll ever experience. So make sure you go to the KeyIndie.com website. That's the KeyIndie.com website. Go to the Key Haunted House. You'll have a horrible time. Oh, yes, George. What was that? Oh, yes, I did. Yesterday morning, we got a surprise on morning TV. One of the local Indianapolis news stations, WRTV Channel 6, the ABC affiliate in the Indianapolis market. They played a tribute segment to Sammy Terry, the legacy and the heritage, sharing all kinds of interesting things going back all the way to 1962, and of course, part of the interview from 1982 with Channel 6. Oh, I do appreciate them sharing Sammy with you. And I can't help but wonder, perhaps they'd like to see the interest people have in Sammy Terry. Perhaps Sammy could find a TV home there at WRTV6. So make sure you reach out to WRTV6. Go to their Facebook page, look up the interview, enjoy the interview, and then comment to them, call their switchboard, stand outside and demand that they put Sammy Terry back on TV in Indianapolis. For I do appreciate WRTV Channel 6 reaching out in a holiday Halloween festive spirit. Oh, and there's more things coming. Last week, after I was done at the Key, I was in Peru, Indiana, up north. We had a horrible time with their second Saturday festival that they run every month. If you've not been to Peru, you should go. Oh, George and I had a horrible time, and you will too in Peru, Indiana. Oh, and of course, the night after, on Sunday, we were in Martinsville, Indiana. Oh, it was the end of their Fall Foliage Festival, and Sammy Terry commenced with a wonderful stage show with hypnosis and all kinds of horrible things. Oh, and so many people came out, hundreds and droves of people, wanting to see Sammy and meet him. So we're starting a Sammy Terry fan photo page on SammyTerry.com. George and I would very much like to have your picture that you've gotten taken with me through the years. Or if you have a Sammy Terry tattoo anywhere on your body, make sure you snap a picture on your phone. Take a picture of your artwork that you've done of Sammy Terry. And particularly if you'll put on your Sammy Terry gear. And then you'll take a picture with your phone and you'll text it to George's iPhone. Oh, his telephone number is on the screen there. Text it to him, attach it to his text. And then he'll get that and put those pictures on the Sammy Terry fan photo page on SammyTerry.com. So you can show your friends and your family that you're not scared anymore. Or are you? Oh, and the fun is just starting now that we're in October. Have you noticed people are getting more nervous as the sun sets earlier in the evening? Oh, the crickets no longer chirp, and the birds are flying south, for they know that where the darkness dwells, death comes. So you should be expecting to see more of Sammy Terry, just like this next Friday. Oh, I will be coming to the Indiana Landmark Center. Watch this brief video and I'll tell you more. Welcome. Come spend an evening with me, Sammy Terry, at the Indiana Landmark Center, Friday, October 26th, from 6:30 to 10:15. I'll perform on stage and introduce you to Frankenstein on the big screen as an organist plays the mighty organ accompaniment. Oh, come dressed as Frankie or his bride or a classic monster and compete in our costume contest. Oh, the grandeur of the Indiana Landmark Center Grand Hall will be in full, brilliant lighting effects, and the organ will chill your spine as the singing groups from the University of Indianapolis sing along. There will be 2 presentations of the scary Frankenstein movies, the 1910 silent version, and after me on stage, we'll show you the talkie version of the 1931 Frankenstein movie starring Boris Karloff. Oh, we'll have a costume contest, adult beverages, spooky music. So go to indianalandmarks.org for more information. Tickets are available online at indianalandmarks.org or at the door, or call 317-639-4534. You'll have a horrible time. Oh, the autumn is so exciting, isn't it, George? Of course. You've probably wondered why there's so much messiness to my dungeon tonight. Not only all of the different kind of shirts and things that you can order from SammyTerry.com, but I'm sure you've noticed the beautiful artwork, the creations of grand gestures, the memorials of 56 years in the Hoosier State. For those of you who may not know me well, I came to Indiana television in 1962 and have been haunting throughout for 56 years. And during that time, 5 generations of horror fans have grown up, and many of them never grew up. But they look to Sammy Terry as horror inspirations. And one great Indiana artist who certainly took his fancy to Sammy Terry to heart and gave his artistic impressions to many works of art that you get to see tonight. Or wouldn't you like to meet that Indiana artist? Well, I do think Goolsby's done flogging him outside. Let's go see if we can pull in John Rodgers. Oh, John, come in.
Sammy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing horrible. Thank you for... Oh, you brought lunch. Thank you so much.
Is this my son, Brad?
Your son, Brad. Oh, my condolences, Brad. What hardships you bear in this world. For I have known your dad. For decades we go back. And his artistic expression, I can only imagine how great and grand your life has been. And I hope that might have brushed off on you, and I'll ask you about that very shortly. But here, I'm going to have you guys crisscross in the middle, all the way across. There we go. For I know all of those millions and millions of Sammy fans want to meet one of the greatest of the Sammy fans who took all of his Sammy passion to heart. So tell me, John, do you have a number of how many Sammy Terry creations, paintings, sculptures, everything you've crafted together?
Lost count. I know it's probably over 100. A lot of them were sketches years ago when I was younger. And then I got into sculpting and stuff, and as a new medium I enjoyed doing, and you were a good subject for that.
Oh, well, thank you. And so you went from sketches to drawings and paintings and sculpting and crafting. You work in clay, in wood, in almost all of the mediums. Oh, excellent. Well, tell me about this beautiful statue here.
This is one of my earlier ones I did. It's made out of super sculpting, the statue. And to tell you what, I had you autograph the top of this, and it was the hardest autograph I ever got. There was a farmhouse down the road that had a haunted house. I thought, I'm going to take this and have you autograph it. Thing of it is, I had to go through the whole haunted house before I could get to you, and I had to carry this in the dark.
And try not to break it or drop it.
So that was kind of difficult.
Oh, that just proves the lengths that people go to seek out Sammy Terry.
Yeah, walking around in the dark with that was kind of a challenge. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And I remember that haunted house. If I'm not mistaken, was that Atlanta, Indiana?
I believe so, yes.
Well, that's right. For John comes from the great city of Brazil, Indiana. And how long have you lived in Brazil?
I lived in Brazil since I was 19.
Oh, 137 years a Hoosier.
I started out in Knightsville.
In Knightsville and then moved over to Brazil. Oh, very good. Well, there you go. A plug for Hoosier hysteria right there. Now, this is a very large creation with a dangling participle of George hanging in there. And he moves. Now, there's other things. You don't only just do large creations, but you go very much smaller as well. Tell me about this creation here.
This is just a little shadow box creation. It's got you and George Spider on the side.
Oh, George, aren't you very excited that he's included you in all of his artwork?
That's something nice just to sit on the shelf. And
oh, it is. I would want to put that in a prominent place on the mantle, for it's quite eloquent. And here, my reclining telephone booth was taken over by your table, but I see a mini coffin here.
Right.
What is that all about?
this is some of my better known artwork is the miniature artwork, and I paint on bottle caps. And the reason why I paint on bottle caps instead of throwing them in the trash, that's my way of recycling. So we got you in there, we got George the Spider, we got Goolsby on the top of the other side, and then the first movie ever shown in 1962 is The Mummy.
Well, that's very nice. All of us are represented. I'm sure Goolsby is so excited to know that he made the cut.
Yeah.
Oh, he was very excited when his t-shirt and his hoodie sweatshirt came in a few weeks ago. But he's so thrilled that a very small bottle cap. Now tell me, do you use a big 3-inch paintbrush that you use for the side of Tom Sawyer's house?
Can of spray paint.
A can of spray paint!
No, it's a real tiny brush that comes down to real fine tip. It's like an 18-0 brush.
An 18-0
Yes,
brush.
real fine point.
Well, you've got to have a very steady hand, for the intricacy of how close the representation is to how we actually look is outstanding.
Then I clear coat them, that protects the paint.
Very good. They clear-coated my hearse. Is it about the same type of...
Probably not as good as your hearse, but...
Oh, I don't know. My hearse, when Goolsby drives, oh, that crazy teenager. Well, I don't know what happens to the paint on the thing. Now here, we've got an incredibly unique paint. What is this?
This is just a diorama of one of your old sets, I think, from the 1980s.
It is exactly from the
And you got
1980s.
your painting on the side of the wall, and if you look real close, you can see the Type O mug in your right hand.
Of course, my Frankenstein for my Type O cocktail. And notice the great intricacy of the wall portrait Of course, that's very realistic to the one that I was presented with in 1982 by Pat Flanagan. Although he's now with us forever, he did my original painting in 1972, and that painting he presented in 1982, which is just on the wall behind you, and you captured it perfectly in a very shrunken state. Now tell me, before we look at the rest, I'm assuming, although you shouldn't, I'm assuming that you have made other creations for all kinds of different people. Tell us a little bit about what other things have you done other than just your fetish with Sammy Terry?
I've done a lot of paintings and sculptures for a lot of the IndyCar drivers.
Such as whom?
Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves, Danica Patrick when she drove for Indy, and AJ Foyt. So it's quite a few different drivers.
Now, such as with me, when you've created such a beautiful work of art, and I've invited you in here and met you and seen you for years, did you meet any of them face to face?
Oh, yes.
All of them, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
all of them.
Oh,
So
very
I got to
good.
present to, and then the last bobbleheads, a lot of them like the bobbleheads I made, and then the last one I presented to Roger Penske in May.
Very good.
It was him with his headphones and on. So.
Excellent. Well, you are very skillful and artistic in what you do. Now, before we move on to the rest of the table, Brad, you've been so patient. Like the little lost boy, I didn't mean to scoot you out of the dungeon. But tell me, with all of the body art, did you design any of these? Here's a beautiful Freddy. You've got Wolfman. You've got so many. What types of tattoos do you have?
Pretty much all horror.
All horror.
I was brought up right, so.
Very good. With amazing influence, I might say. And tell me, have you yet gotten your Sammy Terry tattoo yet?
That is coming up, yes.
Very good. Well, when you do, you're going to make sure that you take out your phone, take a picture of it, and text it to my telephone number so that we'll get it on the Sammy Terry fan photo page of SammyTerry.com.
Absolutely.
Now, Brad, you have been doing art for a very long time. How old were you when you started creating at the foot of your mentor?
It's about the same time I started watching Sammy Terry. I mean, about as long as I can remember, 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, we never missed it. Always pop some popcorn. And always watch a show every Friday night.
How early did you start watching Sammy Terry?
The very first episode.
The very first
I'm
episode,
old, so.
1962. Oh, very good. So how old were you when you started watching?
I think I was like 4 or 5. So, so it made for interesting time. So just, I would always can't wait for Friday nights as a kid. Just, everybody waited for the weekends. I was waiting for Sammy Terry.
So many of our fans are adults now. Some of them are a little more than adults now. That we haven't had baby and children's clothing offered on SammyTerry.com. But in the last few years, since we've been more active on Facebook and on YouTube, more and more children are coming to all of my appearances, so we'll be offering children's sizes of clothing very shortly. Tell me in the comments section below your screen, how old were you when you started watching Sammy Terry? Oh, some are younger than young, others couldn't wait, and then others were pinned down by their siblings, made to watch. Covers were pulled away from their face, making them stare into my coffin as I rose from my grave every Friday. Were you one that cowered at my vision? Oh, I know these two didn't, for they wound up creating the very thing that haunted your nights. Now, John, we have a very small piece here. What is that tiny little creation there?
The sculpture there, I made several to give out to my friends. It's a Sammy Terry refrigerator magnet.
A refrigerator magnet. Oh, how devilish. Now tell me, what is the type of material used in that?
I use a material called Super Sculpey. It's kind of like a plastic type clay that you can shape and bake in your own oven. And I had to get my own oven because my wife was trying to bake cookies and I was trying to bake monsters. So I had to get my own.
Well, I had to surrender my oven to Goolsby years ago. Oh, he tries to bake bodies. They take a little longer, and I can't wait that long for my crispy lady fingers that I enjoy.
Did he ever make goulash?
Goulash! Oh, we do have a Sammy fan now, don't we? Now, here, if you have a little time to spend with me, tell me about this.
Back in one of your old introductions, they was talking about the moon creeping over the horizon. They said it's time for Sammy Terry, so I gave them the idea for this clock. And I took some styrofoam to kind of make it three-dimensional like, and I did a painting on each one of them. And if you notice real close on the big hand, George is on there, and he rides around every hour.
He is on there. Oh, George, what do you think about that? Oh, he said he's got all the time in the world for you, John. And then, not merely the creme de la creme, but certainly a creme, no doubt. Tell me about this beautiful sculpture of a most Madonic, beautiful creature.
Well, I wanted to make a life-size Sammy Terry, so I kind of used some paper mache and then clay on the outside and baked it, and I got some improvements to make on it, but it's not bad for a wall plaque to hang in your room or something, you know.
Not bad. How many of you in the audience think that this is merely not bad? Oh, I think it's quite exquisite. And what a wonderful, wonderful job you have done.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure many people out there would love to have your creations, but you do a lot of very individualized, one-of-a-kind type of things.
Yeah, I got a certain corner in my art room and everything over there, Sammy Terry, so I keep it, most of it, I just, put on shelves and hang it up and always look at it.
Well, I'm so glad that you have brought these for the millions of people watching out there tonight. For we have got 56 years of horror fans. And Brad, I'm sure, with all of this influence in the house, growing up and throughout your adult years, you have become a mighty Sammy fan as well.
Oh, yeah.
Now tell me, Brad, what is your very favorite horror movie?
It's pretty tough. I always go back to the original Frankenstein.
Very good. Well, I particularly love Frankenstein. And in fact, Halloween night, when all of your little tooth decay seeking, sucker sucking children come into the indoors at 8 p.m., come back right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, for I will be celebrating my 56th Halloween birthday celebration.
That's great.
Oh, we'll have all kinds of surprises. And in fact, this year we're paying homage to Brad's favorite movie, Frankenstein. For it is the 200th anniversary of Mary Shelley's novel, Frankenstein. So that's a very good one. And thank you, Brad, for the segue. That fit in there very, very nicely. Well, tomorrow on Saturday at 2 p.m., I'd like to meet you face to face in Washington, Indiana. Listen to this. Join me, Sammy Terry, at 2 p.m. for a matinee show in the Grand Indiana Theater in Washington, Indiana. Saturday, October 20th at 2 p.m. I'll present the famous Sammy Terry horrible stage show with Scream Queen contests, hypnosis, game shows, and all kinds of prizes for the audience. And after I'm done, and I'm meeting you in the meet and greet in the lobby, you'll be treated to a horror movie on the big screen. So join Sammy Terry Saturday, October 20th at 2 p.m. in Washington, Indiana, at the Indiana Theater. It'll give you many pleasant nightmares. I hope that you join me for any of my remaining appearances all over the state. George and I always have fun meeting you. Now, as quick as a witch's twist, we have more creations, part of the magic of Sammy Terry's castle. We're talking with John Rodgers, noted Indiana artist. He's made more creations of Sammy Terry than anyone, over 100 different creations in all different media. And his son, Brad, who shares the artistic flame in the family. What else do we have? Whoa, is this fine-looking fellow?
This is Vincent Price, a bobblehead of me. He was on your 10th anniversary show for the opening introduction, if you remember.
He certainly was, old Vinny there, and it's a beautiful likeness. Oh, Vinny, are you glad to be back on the Sammy Terry show? Of course you are, Vincent. Do you want to be anywhere else?
I think he wants to be here.
Oh, that's of course you don't want to be anywhere else. And you've made Sammy Terry bobbleheads. How many different kind of sculpted bobbleheads have you created?
I kind of lost count because a lot of them people order in person, like family members and stuff like that, and of course the race car drivers. And I've only made 2 bobbleheads. I think you got one at Connor Prairie years ago.
I do.
And then Terrence Muncie, he challenged me to do a bobblehead of you from an NBA player. I turned the NBA player into Sammy Terry, and instead of holding basketball, he's holding the skull.
Beautiful metamorphosis there. And that's Terrence Muncie from the Art of Terrence Muncie on Facebook. Another great Indiana artist. Even though he came from Kentucky, we'll forgive him a little bit. Oh, and next to this, I see a beautiful creation, and anyone that goes to SammyTerry.com will recognize the plate. Hand-painted and crafted. Oh, a 3D plate, as you can see the depth of field there. Autographed on the back by John Rodgers and Sammy Terry. There's a very limited number of them, and they're available on SammyTerry.com. Oh, there's also a special coupon code as well. Oh, it's the number 6, and it is good for free shipping on your order. And anyone that uses the coupon code Roger, that's RODGER, they'll also get a free picture card autographed by me. So they'll get free shipping on anything and everything they order, plus a free picture card along with their beautiful hand-painted John Rodgers Sammy Terry plate. Oh, and beside the plate, an exquisite, beautiful creation One of the greatest Steins, short of Frankenstein himself.
Sammy Stein.
It's a Sammy Stein. Oh, we'll bring this center place here. All throughout, there's Sammy there. Look at the depiction of my castle. A beautiful creation, as we've got my noose rope. Oh, there's George. The skulls. All kinds of horror. And as we spin around on the back, what is this on the back side, John?
That's a film strip. A lot of the movies you shown back in the early days, the black and white of the Universal monsters.
Oh, that's right. I see Frankenstein, King Kong, Dracula, the Mummy, the Wolfman, and the creature from the Black Lagoon. And then again, here's a beautiful countenance of me, next to my portrait window. And of course, let's not forget, my Frankenstein. What a beautiful hand-crafted Stein that is. Tell me, John, how long did it take you to craft, to finish, to paint, to fire, and create that?
Probably a couple weeks. The Stein itself is just plain, and I just added to it what I did with the super sculpting, and then of course got the looking lid. So.
Excellent. What an amazing creation. Taking something so raw and blah and turning it into a great work of art. You're very, very talented, and I know this is not the first time you've heard those words. But alas, classic monster creatures. Tell me, audience, do you recall this young lady? Oh, we experienced her just a few nights ago here on the Sammy Terry Show. Of course, it's that creepy old lady from Vincent Price, starring in House on Haunted Hill, available on SammyTerry.com.
Slide. Remember Mrs. Slide down in the basement?
That's right, she slid in as if on wheels and slid back out. One of the most frightening scenes. It takes everyone by surprise. Did it take you? And if you don't know that film, rent it tonight on SammyTerry.com or buy a digital copy or order the DVD. I'll sign it for you. Now, Goolsby occasionally comes in from the fields, and he seems to have some itching going on. I thought it was the witchin', but it's not. It's fleas.
Scratching out back a while ago.
You saw him scratching out there. What have you done for him?
Well, I made a Sammy Terry back scratcher.
A Sammy Terry back scratcher. Oh, I see. You captured the skin on my hands beautifully. And the handle. Oh, that's exquisite. Oh, I can see there the skull, the tassel, and yes, George, there you are. Oh, John Rodgers and his art. He doesn't miss a trick now. Now, talking about the very miniatures, did you know that Sammy Terry's typo cocktail mixer is almost ready? For we have been brewing the batch for weeks, making it ready for you. The unveiling will be in a week or two. But to wet your whistle, here John Rodgers has created a bottle top for a wine bottle. Oh, this stopper won't stop your fun. For with Sammy Terry staring at you from the top of your chosen elixir, you'll always have many pleasant nightmares. And so will the people down at Oliver Winery, from whence this cork appeared. Hello, Ollie. Then, here, a creation that I am very familiar with, for all of the people that have purchased a Sammy Terry hand-painted sculpture statue by John Rodgers, available on SammyTerry.com. Oh, he's autographed, and I will autograph those for you as well when you order one for yourself. They're a very heavy, mantle-worthy creation. John, what are these crafted from?
They were originally super sculpey on the first original one, and then I made a mold, and these are made out of resin.
Made out of resin.
Yeah, pour the resin in the mold and wait about 7 minutes and peel it out. But the painting look takes a long time.
You make it sound so very easy, but I can't imagine Goolsby, and surely not George, he's all fingers, could ever create something like this. And there, right next to me, as always, George, you may settle down now. Yes, you made the cut as well, for you are on the stone scape there, with the statue, with the skull, and with all the intricate painting. And like you said, those are available for sale on SammyTerry.com, because not much of your artwork is. But we're honored to have some. And here, a very small feature. What is this, John?
That's a Sammy Terry ring.
A Sammy Terry ring. Oh, I tell you, I don't know what size it is, but the face sure rings a bell.
I used to wear that around Halloween time.
You did. Oh, it's Sammy Terry, standing in front of the gates to my cemetery. What an amazing... Now, did you start with nothing at all, or did you modify an existing ring?
Modified an existing ring.
Oh, very good. Now I notice the shininess. How do you finish those to keep them from being brittle and falling to pieces like all of our people will do in a couple months come Christmas time?
It's a product called Virotex, and it's a part A and part B acrylic. You mix it together, it's like an epoxy, and it sets up 24 hours, and one coat is the same as 50 coats of lacquer.
Ooh, very good, very thick, and very protective. We should get some of that for the blemishes on Goolsby's face. They're always breaking open as well. We can really seal up those pores, Goolsby. And here, an amazing creation. Tell me about this ride of the century.
I got this in Avon, Indiana last year. It's actually a Halloween discount, but it's all plain black. The windows are all silver, and I thought, you know, I can do something with that. So, turn that a little bit so you can see. I got George riding on the hood, and Scully on the front, and we got a skeleton in the back, or on the side here. And if you turn around, we got Goolsby trying to grab a hold of his casket sliding out.
There's Goolsby. Good old Goolsby. Oh, he's out back digging new graves for our subterranean condominium complex out there. He'll be very excited to see that he was included in this beautiful ride. So you took an ordinary piece and turned it into an extraordinary piece.
Yeah, it's just made out of plaster, and like I said, I seen that. I thought kind of the idea popped in my mind as soon as I seen what I wanted to do with it. And
Excellent. Well, it's amazingly inspirational. And if any of you have also done artwork, whether it's a drawing, a painting, any type of creation in indie media, make sure you snap pictures of it on your cell phone and text those pictures to me at the number we broadcasted earlier this evening. We'll put them on the Sammy Terry fan photo page on SammyTerry.com. And now, a couple very interesting pieces, an exquisite collection of a very beautiful subject. Brad, perhaps you would like to share with me, what is this, like a crown that could adorn a head of a king?
You always have a hard time finding hats you like, so figured why not create our own, so.
Excellent. Oh, now tell me, Brad, how did you create that?
I always take my paints with me on vacation, and I'm too fair to go to the beach. I don't like the sun, so I stay back and just paint when the girls go to the beach. So.
Very good. Well, all good vampires don't really appreciate the sun like you. So, you stayed in your room. You took out your paints. He painted this beautiful memento to remember forever. The greatest and longest running horror host in all the world, Sammy Terry. What a tremendous job. Now, does it have any finish coat? Will that chip off, break off?
Yeah, no, I sprayed it so that way it's protected from rain or elements.
Very good. Now, your exquisite painting here is very exemplary. And I'm sure you learned that partly from dear old Dad here. Did he guide you in your artistic, or did it just naturally express from you like a good disease?
No, that's how I learned, just sitting across the table from him, mimicking what he did. When may have been a little embarrassing for him when we go to school, the Christmas shows, and everybody had Santa and snowmen, and I had Sammy and werewolves.
Horrible Christmas to everyone. Well, being a second-generation artist for you, I have a very soft spot in my very cold heart for fathers and sons sharing passion for what they love.
Absolutely.
Tell me about this other beautiful creation next to the hat.
I said I've been drawing Sammy ever since I was little, so it's something I've just kept with as I've become an adult. It's when I have the most fun is when I'm painting monsters.
Excellent. Now you at home, look into those eyes. Those eyes that look back at you. They see you. They know you. They've been watching you as you've been watching them. Your memories are merely models for the future. And Sammy has taken them all in. Do you see the familiarity in that look? Do you see that he knows you inside and out? He understands your fears and is not afraid to exploit them. The sinister smile on his face. It's telling that he knows more about you than you ever wanted to share with him. So look deep into those eyes, see your future, and fear your past. For very soon, on October 31st, Sammy turns another year older, and so do you. I'll keep looking at you the way I always have, but you'll keep looking older now, won't you?
One last thing, Sammy.
Of course.
I've got another generation drawing Sammy Terry. This is drawn by my 7-year-old grandson, and he wanted you to have this.
A 7-year-old grandson, the grandfather, the great artist John Rodgers, his son, the great artist Brad Rodgers, and here, the grandson, 7 years old, Caden. Well, thank you so much, Caden. What an excellent depiction of Sammy Terry. I see George. George, you're in the picture too. Oh, So many children are drawing pictures of Sammy. Make sure, just as Grandpa John and Old Man Brad and all the others, make sure you take pictures of your creations. Text those pictures to my cell phone number, and we'll make sure we keep them forever in the annals of the fan pictures on the SammyTerry.com website. Thank you, Caden. You are an excellent artist. Keep up, for you have a very bright future. Oh, I mentioned to you earlier that at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, I'll be in Washington, Indiana. But being that I always bring my minions with me, my Gravediggers 5 are always hauling my stuff in the hearse. Later tomorrow evening, at 7 or 7:30, I will be in Bloomington, Indiana, back at the Starlight Drive-In. That's tomorrow night, Saturday. Put on your warm Sammy Terry hoodie or sweatshirt and come see me. More information right about now. Join me, Sammy Terry, at the Starlight Drive-In in Bloomington, Indiana, Saturday night, October 20th at 6 p.m. I'll perform on stage and then show you a horrible horror movie. Win prizes on stage at my game show. Be hypnotized by me. Win a crown in our Scream Queen contest. Bring the entire family for a horror-filled night at the Starlight Drive-In in Bloomington, Indiana. Go to Starlight Drive-In Facebook page for directions and information. Saturday, October 20th, Starlight Outside Drive-In Stage Show and Horror Movie, sponsored by Mutual Bank. Bring the kids. More. The Murderer! Well, as you can see, John Rodgers is just one of the many mega fans that Sammy Terry has acquired in the last 56 years. Everywhere I go, people know Sammy Terry, whether it's 7-year-old Caden, whether it's his middle-aged dad or uncle, whether it's his grandpa John. 5 generations of Hoosiers count on Sammy Terry to bring them a horrible Halloween. And one of those fans, if you've come to the Sammy Terry live shows, you most likely have seen one of the great super mega Sammy Terry fans. Oh, this one was a tough one to bring in, for he collects all kinds of Sammy Terry memorabilia. He likes to spread them out on his bed, lay around and roll on them, no doubt. Well, luckily, during one of these fits, Goolsby caught him. George wrapped him in a web, and they brought him to us. Let's jerk him out here. Oh, he resides and comes from the great city of Kokomo, Indiana. Robert Smith is in the house.
How you doing, Sammy?
Oh, I'm doing horrible, Robert. I hope you're doing the same.
Doing great.
Very good. This is Robert Smith, You may have encountered him and seen him at Sammy Terry events. For of all the years that Sammy Terry has been providing horrible events, stage shows, meet and greets, royal festive, balls and festivals, parades and fairs, Robert has been to so many of them. He certainly has one of the most extensive collection of Sammy Terry artifacts and memorabilia. But there's one that he's very most proud of, and that's why when I heard at the last event he was at, the place of memoriam that he has achieved, we just had to bind him and bring him in. I certainly hope that you've gotten all of those cobwebs that George sprayed all over you off.
I'm good.
So tell me, Robert, of all the things that you have, how many individual pieces of Sammy Terry fan memorabilia have you collected over the years?
I have hundreds of pieces.
Hundreds of pieces of things.
And a lot of it I haven't seen in years myself is packed away in boxes to be framed.
Very good. I think everybody should be framed once in their life. Well, with all of those things, there's one thing that sets you apart from all the other Sammy Terry fans, and that is this life-size poster of Sammy Terry. Oh, this poster has been around for a very long time. For if you can see this poster, you'll notice that all over there are Sammy Terry autographs from all of the different events that Robert has been to. Some are dated, some are told where they were when it happened. Oh, there's horrible and funny. There's whimsical and worried. But there's all kinds. And you might be wondering for yourself, how many signatures are on this life-size poster? So Robert, tell all of our fans how many signatures you've accrued on this poster.
Well, there's years of traveling to put this together, and we did a count the other day, and we have 99 signatures on it.
99 Sammy Terry events that Robert has brought this poster to, getting my signature on all of them. So here, marking the great 56th year of Sammy Terry broadcasts, I wanted to bring Robert in personally so that he can enjoy the 100th autograph on YouTube Live and Facebook Live in front of you. Well, there's not too many places, but I'll pick one of my favorites and we'll sign it in gold just to make sure that you get all of the signatures that you need. Now, Robert, it's been years and years, for I remember when this poster came out. Gerald Hawkins actually produced these posters years and years ago. There were very few of them sold, for they were quite expensive. But you have what I think may be the last remaining poster. With 99 signatures, this 100th will be outstanding. Are you ready, Robert?
I am very ready.
For a centennial celebration of signing. To Robert Smith. I'm your biggest fan. $100 signature. You may have a piece of memorabilia that you had signed at one of my live events years ago. If you do, take a picture of yourself holding that memorabilia and text the picture to my number that I gave you earlier. We may flash the number later, but make sure you send that in, for George and Goolsby are putting together a chronicle of all of them. And Robert, I know we've had 100 signatures now. How many times have you and I gotten our picture taken together?
I have a box full.
A box full.
This is just one item with the signatures on it, but I have boxes of memorabilia that's been signed over the years.
Boxes of signed memorabilia. Well, very good. Well, for all the people out there on the other side of the Cyclops lens, come stand with me. Let them take our picture together. For Sammy Terry appreciates all that you've done to maintain Sammy Terry's heritage. And if we wait much longer, I'll increase my grip. Thank you, Robert,
Thank you, Sammy,
for being a great mega Sammy fan. Oh, there's so many things that we could talk about. All of the exciting things. But I did tell you about Starlight Drive-In. And even though the stars may all be on that side of the tree, this Saturday, a week from this Saturday, on the other side of the sky, you'll find the Moonlight Drive-In in Terror Haute. Join Sammy Terry at the Moonlight Drive-In in Terror Haute, Indiana, Saturday night, October 27th at 6 p.m.-ish. Oh, I'll perform on stage, and then we'll present you a horrible movie. Win prizes on stage at my stage show, or be hypnotized, or win a crown in my Scream Queen contest. Bring the entire family for a horror-filled night at the Moonlight Drive-In in Terre Haute, Indiana. Go to Moonlight Drive-In Indiana Facebook page for directions and information. Saturday, October 27th. Bring the kids, the more, the murderer. You can be in here. I hope you got all of that, for there's all kinds of places for you and me to meet face to face, just like I've always done here with Robert. He has so much memorabilia. Tell me, Robert, this very stiff, almost cardboardish type of concert poster. Oh, I remember this. For this concert poster goes back all the way into the 1970s. Oh, here I was, in Fountain Square in Indianapolis. Oh, this was back in the late 1970s. We have grand balls and horrible times everywhere. He received this. Did you get this personally, or where did you come across this very rare Sammy Terry appearance poster.
I've had that one so long, I don't remember where I got it at.
You have no idea where you got it. Well, very good. And here is one of the very earliest of my posters. Back from the 1960s. You'll notice I've aged barely nothing at all, for my countenance is so beautiful and young. I am like a spring chicken compared to all of you old hags. And this picture of me was taken back in 1968. So this one is framed in a very tight frame that keeps the very decrepit paper from crumbling and twisting, from flaking into oblivion and getting crisp and blowing away. There are not very many of these posters at all anywhere in the world, Robert.
I've never seen another one. That's the first one.
You have some very rare pieces. And not only rare, but also one of a kind. For this sculpture here is one of my very favorites. The beautiful sculpture, in fact, it looks like it's hand-created, hand-painted. Tell us, Robert, where did you get such a creation?
I had this one commissioned from John Rodgers years ago.
From our friend John Rodgers. Oh, it's a beautiful piece. There's the tombstone. And yes, George, you're on the tombstone. John Rodgers never forgets you, as I'm holding Scully in my hand. Oh, you'll look at the articulation. Even the leaves on the ground are crying out in their inspiration of beauty. What a wonderful statue this is. Very heavy and very exquisite. So with that, I certainly want to thank you, Robert, super mega fan.
Thank you, Sammy.
And George, let go of Brad's beard and let him come back up here. John, let go of Goolsby. He can only do headlocks so long. He's stupid enough as it is. Don't restrict what blood flow he has left. Well, I certainly want to thank all of my guests here tonight. John Rodgers, the great Indiana cemetery artist from Brazil. His son, Brad Rodgers, the great artist who depicts on hats, on paintings, and in your eyes. And the great collectors of bones and everything, Sammy Terry, Robert Smith from Kokomo. Oh, they've been with me so long, and you can be with me as well. Monday, October 29th, 2 days before the witching day of my birthday, I will be at Indiana State University in Terre Haute, Indiana. Oh, I'll be performing doing the warm-up show in the Tilson Auditorium on campus. For the Aquila Theater Group is presenting the play Frankenstein. Oh, you can get tickets online from the Performing Arts Center over at ISU. All information is available on the appearance page on SammyTerry.com, or go to the ISU information website. There you can learn more. If you are an ISU student, you can get in with your your valid student ID for free. So come see me Monday evening. And don't forget, Wednesday, Halloween, 8 p.m. Come back here on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, for I'll have a special Halloween show, special surprise guests. Vinnie Price will make an appearance. And of course, Frankenstein will be here. Mary Shelley's words will come alive, and more horrible things. Make sure you're taking those pictures of your memorabilia. Make sure you're taking your pictures of your tattoos of Sammy Terry, of any of your apparel and your gear that you have. Oh, text all of those pictures to me at 317-452-9221. George and Goolsby will make sure your pictures get immortalized on the Sammy Terry fan photo page on SammyTerry.com. I'll be broadcasting live again from the Indiana Landmarks building next Friday. I may have something for you tomorrow evening on YouTube Live from the Starlight Drive-In. You'll just have to make sure you click that bell on your notifications so you and your family get notified of all things Sammy Terry. Oh, I'd like to thank Mark Johnson, the writer. Oh, I want to thank Mike Wycliffe from Comic Carnival, who's directing this mess tonight. Gerald Hawkins, who's facing the camera from behind. Terrence Muncie from The Art of Terrence Muncie. Oh, he's the artist that did the Sammy Terry comic books on SammyTerry.com, and a lot of the designs on the t-shirts that are hanging on the wall of the dungeon tonight. Order his artwork on SammyTerry.com or his other original pieces from his Facebook page, The Art of Terrence Muncie. Oh, thank you to Nathan Erdell from Gentleman Monster Productions, the guys at Scarlet Lane Brewery for sponsoring this event, and of course Brett Pittman from Darkroom Photography and Videography, who helps sponsor these shows so you can keep your taste of Sammy Terry. And of course, I want to thank John, Brad, and Robert for being here and being mega fans. And to all of you, as we enter into the very waning hours of the Halloween season, embrace the cold and the moist, dark air as it tickles into your skin. As you wake up to dark and go to bed to dark, remember, Sammy's watching, and you'll be waiting, 'cause I'll be there. Just like I've been for 56 years, bringing you and yours many pleasant nightmares.